Good day, flight simmers. Today we're going to take a look at the auto checklist function that you can have in Microsoft Flight Sim. So if you go to piloting, under assistance options, you can turn on assist checklist. And when you do that, you'll be able to get auto assist if you need it. So here we are with the inside inspection.
Off. INT lights. Off. Crash lever. Down. Starter. Off.
So it's basically walking us through.
Auto.
And if you're not familiar with the
AUX
aircraft, you can
PMP.
see it's taking us to the different controls
Fuel SEL.
and selection switches
Man.
that have to be done
AP/trims.
in the inside
Off.
inspection at the beginning.
Dice system. All off. Inert SEP.
So very helpful if you're
Off.
not familiar where some of
Park
these
brake.
things are.
On. Landing gear lever. DN. Bleed. Off. Throttle.
So you can
Cut
auto
off.
complete that
Fuel tank
if
selector.
it won't work with your mouse.
Open and L or R.
Okay, that page is complete. So you can go to the next page before starting engine, and you can
Crash
go
lever.
evaluation if you want and
Up.
do the things yourself.
Source.
It'll take you to where you have to go. Once again, if the mouse doesn't work,
GPU.
just hit autocomplete.
NASAir 616 is cleared to Augusta Airport as filed.
So we've got
Takeoff
ATC up
runway
now.
5 climb and maintain
Oh,
4,000 feet.
just turned on the
Departure
generator.
frequency is 1 tree for decimal 75 squawk 2471.
Okay, I'm just going to take
Main.
a sec.
Clearance
All right.
delivery NASAir 616 IFR to Augusta ready to copy.
De-ice.
Clearance delivery NASAir
System
616
lights.
IFR to
It's
Augusta
testing
ready to
that.
copy.
And like I said, if it gets hung up, just hit the autocomplete button, but I'm just waiting a second to see if it's going to do the test itself. You can
Test.
force finish if you want.
Landing gear lights / check down.
Okay. It's a test you have to do. And just going to give it a chance to do that test. Sometimes if you rush this stuff, it can cause things not to operate properly.
Test. Fuel on board.
Alright. So you can auto-complete that or just check. There is fuel on board. It's a matter of checking your fuel pumps. Just going to
Check.
auto-complete that. Alright. Next is going to be before starting engine. And now engine start. I'm going to do the evaluation here.
Ignition. Auto.
I like to
AUX boost
do a lot of the stuff myself, and you can do that
On.
by hitting evaluation.
Propeller area.
And just check that it's clear, and you just tick that item.
Clear.
So we're doing engine start
Starter.
right now.
On 2. Clear. Starter.
Yeah, I had to go back outside and check off that propeller was clear.
On 2 seconds, then off. Throttle.
Okay, it's running through
Set
that
low
right
idle,
now.
winning 13%. ITT.
You can see some of this stuff showing up on the
Max
multifunctional screen
870
there.
degrees for 20 seconds / 1000 degrees for 5 seconds. Aim. 30% before 30 seconds / 50% before 1 minute. Oil press / temp. Check. Automatic starter. Off, winning 52% plus or minus 2%. 1 minute max.
Alright, so it's completed the page, and you can actually reset the page if you want. And there's a reset page button up there, so if you wanted to go through it again, or if something didn't work right.
Throttle.
So now we're doing after engine start.
LO idle to flight idle. Oil press / temp. Check. AUX boost PMP.
So you can see there's quite a few steps here, so
Auto.
these checklists that are
Fuel
provided
SEL.
really do help. And in the
Auto.
real world, they go through these
Fuel
anyway,
SEL
so
shift button.
that's makes it a little bit more realistic than just starting on the runway where all this stuff is
Test.
done for you.
AP / trims. On. Generator. Main. Bleed. Auto or max diff.
Alright, before taxi. Intercept.
Intercept. On. Flight controls.
Okay, so I'm just
Check.
doing that myself with my joystick.
Flaps. Up.
You can do that with your
Throttle.
mouse or your joystick. So feather twice, that's a little tricky, so if you just hit
Feather
autocomplete,
twice.
it'll do it for you.
Taxi lights.
Sort of like having your co-pilot assisting
On.
you.
Park brake.
Alright, now she's going to start to roll when you take that off, so
Off.
have your finger on the brake, on your joystick or however you're doing it, controlling it. So we've completed our basic startup, and we're ready to taxi. So I'm going to take you as far as takeoff in the checklist, so we can take a good look at the
Charlotte ground
checklist
Nasser
provided.
616 with Quebec ready to taxi IFR. Taxiing hold short runway 5 using taxiway Mike Echo Nasser 616. Hold position Nasser 616.
So we're at our departure runway now, and we are going to now do the before lineup checklist. And so you can click on those and press evaluation
Park brake.
and go through it yourself.
On. Landing lights. On. Navigation lights. On. Strobe lights. On. Ignition auto or on. As required. AUX boost PMP. Auto. Fuel SEL. Auto. De-ice system.
So I'm not going to put those
As
on,
required.
not required. I'm
Pitot
going to put the
L
pitot
/
on.
Pitot R. Install HTR.
And in
On. Intercept. On.
just going to
Trims.
auto-complete that. It's a little tricky to see what you're doing.
2.
Flaps
Flaps.
for takeoff.
2. Bleed. Auto or max diff.
Okay, so set the
Altimeter
altitude.
Set / check.
Altimeter is your
Alt
barometric
cell.
pressure, and the altitude, you can select your altitude before takeoff. I'm just going to turn the dial there and set it. You notice sometimes the screens go blank when It's just focusing on one little area for you to look
About
at.
cell. Set.
And I'll just autocomplete that item.
XPDR squawk. Set.
Okay, we're ready to take off. So there's our items for takeoff. Get your props RPM. Gonna autocomplete that.
Prop RPM. Green sector.
I'm gonna release the parking brake. And we should start rolling. We're going to get our torque to 100% for takeoff, our rotation speed, and pitch up at 10%. So the rotation speed, you can set your VR speeds with this aircraft to show up on your speed gauge.
Charlotte Tower Nasser 616 at runway 5, ready for departure IFR to Augusta.
Ready to
Cleared for
go.
takeoff runway 5 Nasser 616.
And then after takeoff, there's another checklist that we can take a look at. So once again, make sure your brakes are released. Positive vertical speed. And we have to bring our flaps up at 115 knots, roughly, when we reach that. We don't want to exceed that. All right, we're ready to go. And rotate, positive rate of climb. And we're good to go. Bring up our landing gear and our flaps. Okay, thank you for joining me on this short video on how to use a checklist for starting up and taxiing and takeoff for the TBM
Charlotte departure
930.
Nasser 616 is passing 1,400 feet.